good energy in the building, and we're underway with the new season. And it is tipped into the hands of Giannaros for Boston University, and the Terriers will get the first crack. A senior, 2 sophomores, and 2 true freshmen on the floor for BU here. Into the paint to one of the true freshmen. Swerter heads outside. That's Audrey Erickson, and the first shot does not go for the sophomore from North Carolina. Here's Beckers. Cross court to Shade. That one doesn't go. Rebound, though. Caitlin Chen gets it stripped on the way back up.
Good active hands there by BU defensively.
So BU coming in with a very young lineup, some injury problems in their bigs as well. There's Giannaros from outside, the senior from Brockton, Mass. No, and Ice Brady, a good box out for the rebound. Here's Chen, the grad transfer from Princeton, to Beckers. Outside to Sarah Strong, the freshman. Back iron, no.
Beckers could have shot that ball. Instead, again, chooses to dribble and dish.
Had the room, didn't she? Yeah. Ava Gormley loses control. Here comes Beckers. Huskies on the run. Shade. All the way in. Gets it blocked. Inside. And BU comes up with the ball. That was the freshman Inez Gallegos who got the block. Here's Gallegos with the ball in her hands from San Francisco. Sarah Strong defending there, and a travel.
Really smart defense there by Strong to force that turnover.
Boston University headed by Melissa Graves, former player from Upford McGraw at Notre Dame, her 4th season here in her first head coaching position. You see the winning record. These Terriers have been in the Patriot League championship game 3 times in the last 4 years. And there's a connection, a UConn connection, besides that she was an opposing player for Notre Dame, on the Graves staff. More on that later in the game. Here's Caitlin Chen. Ball moving back around to Beckers, draws a double team. Shade comes to get it, inside to Brady. And a nice pass down low to Strong.
What a heads-up pass. What a heads-up pass there from Brady to Strong. Good spacing in that lane. Really good movement there offensively with the ball by UConn.
Guess I'll call it a recovery from Brady after troubles initially handling the ball. Here's Schwertner, 42. Defended by Brady. Shot is nowhere close. Couldn't tell if Brady got a hand on that or not. Chen inside to Strong, and Strong will get fouled. Just named today along with AZ Fudd as a Wooden Award watch list player for this season. Nice feed inside to Brady. Couldn't get the shot to go.
The only award that Beckers wants is the national championship.
That's it. That's why she's back, right? Here is Gormley. Now Gallegos. Now Giannaros. Leader for the Terriers. Defended well there by Sarah Strong.
Yeah, Beckers and Strong switch defensively. Great communication.
And Strong gets the steal. Beckers to Shade. And the inbound pass, and Ice Brady will get fouled by Allison Schwertner. It's another big celebration that night as well. That's the 40th anniversary celebration of Gino and CD. It's going to be a big night.
Yeah, lots of former players coming back. It'll be a lot of fun.
Here's Page. No, too strong. That's off Brady, and it'll be a BU basketball.
That was Becker's first shot, right?
Yeah.
6:26 to go in this quarter. They got it. She's got to shoot the ball before this point.
Shade has shot twice, Strong once, Brady once, and now Beckers once. UConn 1 for 6 from the floor, and 0 for 3 from outside. BU 0 for everything so far in the game, yet to get their first points. Here's Cece Bentley, 94 into the ball game. Hartford native for BU. Giannaros blocked by Brady, and Beckers comes up with the ball. Shade from the corner. There it is. Timeout, Boston University.
Playing out of position so much of the season, she just did whatever she had to do.
UConn putting a little front court pressure on. Broken by the Terriers. Same starting five on the floor for UConn. Here's Giannaros, defended by Caitlin Chen. Got a hand on the ball and a steal. Feeds a running shade for a nice bucket. The steal and the score.
We've talked about it off and on over the years. Defense leads to offense. They've had good half-court, now three-quarter court pressure. Very active hands defensively right now.
Chen almost got another finger on that one right in front of us. Ball got away. Here's Sarah Strong, the freshman, the #1 ranked recruit. Feeds Paige Beckers, and Paige gets her first points of the new season.
And the nice assist from Strong, who can do so much with the ball. The great steal. She can bring it the length of the floor.
A lot of high hopes for the player wearing 21 for UConn. More on her as we go through the night. Another steal for the Huskies.
Yeah, the one-handed pass doesn't work if you can't pull it back.
That's now 6 turnovers for BU. Beckers up and in.
Terrific decision there by Beckers to take her one-on-one.
You think part of the discussion in the UConn huddle that last time out from Gino was Paige, take the shot.
You think?
So 11-0 Huskies. Here's Bentley, the Hartford native, gets the first points for BU in her hometown. Cece Bentley, the sophomore. Did her prep up in Northfield, Mount Herman in Massachusetts. Missed all of last season injured. She gets on the board before family. There's Ice Brady, and it goes in.
Nice use of the offhand there by Brady, who loves to favor her left. A nice right.
And an errant pass and another turnover by BU. From the corner, shade, no. Good rebound by Brady. And she stepped on the end line trying to save that ball. So subs into the game for UConn. KK Arnold is onto the floor, wearing #2 for the Huskies. Such a sensational freshman for UConn a year ago. And Jenna El Alfi, the redshirt freshman from Egypt, gets the steal on that play. The feed ahead from Arnold to Chen.
El Alfi making something happen there with those long outstretched arms on her 6'5" frame. Creates that turnover.
Timeout for BU. First quarter for the Terriers. There's Ava Gormley looking for some running room. Defended there by Chen. And couldn't make the shot go, even though she got into the paint. Beckers. Here's Arnold. And now Strong. Cut off well, double team. Nice save. And Beckers takes the feed from El Alfi and makes the three.
How smart is El Alfi, though? Just go over there, hand it off, set a little screen for Beckers.
So 18-2 as the Huskies continue. After a slow start those first few minutes offensively. Ball going in the basket now in the droves here for UConn. Errant pass from Gallegos off Becker's foot, actually. And that's now double-digit turnovers in this first quarter for BU. Here's El Alfi inside to Strong, and going to be a foul called on the floor from Gallegos. Arrived and enrolled in January of 23, then playing for her national team, of which her father is the coach, injured her Achilles in an overseas competition, and gets the bucket right there. 6'5", basketball smarts, daughter of a national team basketball coach.
And she's got a toughness to her, too. And how about the unselfish pass there from Sarah Strong to set up El Alfi's first bucket?
High expectations for El Alfi now that she finally sees the court for UConn. And there's a steal. I think Strong got a hand on the ball, and she'll go end to end. How about the switch of hands there to get the layup? Wow.
Well, she clearly didn't want to use the left.
She does quite easily, but she had to kind of recover that ball, I think. And a nice move for Sarah Strong. How about 4 turnovers in the last 2 minutes for BU? UConn defense?
Yeah, it's hard to simulate UConn's pressure defense in practice.
There's Bentley. Hit the bottom of the rim, trying to go up between 2 defenders. Now Caitlin Chen feeds El Alfi. And gets her own rebound, puts it in.
She's upset with herself that she missed that first shot.
So Jana Al-Alfi getting her introduction to the UConn faithful on the court. Blocked by Beckers.
With authority.
And gets fouled, trying to take it all the way to the rim. Again, she led this team in blocks a year ago. And she's at the free throw line now. Checking into the ball game for UConn, wearing 23 in home white, the freshman from San Jose, Morgan Shelley. From Archbishop Mitty, the number 11 recruit in her class, McDonald's All-American. It's been limited in practice a lot of the summer, but she's good to go and excited to see what she can do for this team. What does she bring to the floor?
Well, she came in to UConn, like a lot of kids do out of high school now, banged up with injuries. She had a hamstring issue, and they were extra cautious. Gee, I wonder why, right?
Yeah, for sure. Nice bucket there from CeCe Bentley over Shelley to get BU some points, finally. As Beckers answers right back. Let's see, for Paige, that's now double figures. 4 of 5. 2 from the free throw line, 1 from long range. 11 points for Paige in this first quarter. In the final 20 seconds.
And remember, she didn't take a shot the first 3.5, 4 minutes of this quarter.
There's Bella McLaughlin, the sophomore from Hampton, Maine, who threw one up at the rim and it went in. Transfer from Providence to BU. And now the Huskies hold for the final shot of quarter 1. Outside to Shelley, and got it for 3. Welcome to UConn, Morgan Shelley.
The unselfish pass from Beckers.
We have to take care of the ball, given that we have 11 turnovers. She said that we have to move the ball, step to the ball. We want to give ourselves a chance, and we need to be confident in this game. So she's hoping for a much better start in the second quarter for the Terriers.
All right, Chels, thanks. There's Ashlyn Shade with a good start for the Huskies. So on the floor for UConn, Shade, Arnold, Shelley, Brady, and Cadence Samuels into the ball game for the first time. Wearing number 10 this season. And there's 10 for BU. Giannaros, Alex Giannaros with her first points of the ball game, the leading scorer, leading returning scorer from a season ago. So the senior from Brockton, after being shut out in the first quarter, is on the board early in the second. Here's Samuels. Shelley quickly to Shell. Look at that ball movement. Nice. Samuels, yes. One shot, one triple.
Really good ball movement, great spacing. They share the ball so well.
Shelley went for the steal, and she'll get called for the foul, trying to get the tie-up on CeCe Bentley. So first foul on the freshman. And BU will inbound the ball from near side of the court.
First personal, first team foul.
How do you think Gino views that first quarter?
34 BU, 5.
That's the beginning of the season. Started a little slow, but I think he had to be feeling really good about the defensive pressure and the offense that came out of it.
Here's Gormley double team. Nice move by Brady to come over and help. Got a hand on the ball as Gormley tried to pass it away, and Samuels will get called for a foul. As she ran into the back of Huskies. BU inbounds the ball with a 20-second shot clock to work with. There's Ava Gormley. Now Audrey Erickson. Now Giannaros defended there by KK Arnold. Almost came up with the steal.
I thought Arnold got away with some body bumps there.
Shot clock at 2, blocked by Arnold.
I mean, great anticipation, but that was just athleticism right there. Went for the steal and then seemed to be out of position. Timed it beautifully. To the delight of Ice Brady.
Number 11,
nice.
Number 23.
And subbing into the ball game for UConn, the freshman from Neenah, Wisconsin, Allie Zabel, wearing number 11. And don't get the shot off to the Terriers before the shot clock expires. There's Allie. Number 7 recruit in her class, McDonald's All-American, Wisconsin Gatorade Player of the Year the last 2 years running. Known for being really a good shooter.
Yeah, I mean, just a pure scorer, can really shoot the ball. Certainly behind the arc, but anywhere on the floor.
Hands off to Samuels, who pulls up and gets it to go. Nice start to the game for Caden Samuels. And ball fumbled away out of bounds in UConn basketball.
Those are the kind of turnovers that Melissa Graves just doesn't want to see. Those unforced errors. It's difficult enough for them to execute and get the ball at the floor against this UConn pressure.
Right.
To turn it over on an inbounds play like that those are ones you want back.
And here comes Paige Beckers back onto the floor for Ashlyn Shade. How the Huskies perform when Paige is not on the floor, a topic Gino discussed with us at shoot-around earlier today, something we'll keep an eye on. There's the bell from outside, and smoothly done.
My girl can shoot.
So Zabel on the board, Strong is on the board, and Shelley is on the board. All of the freshmen have scored in their UConn home debut. CeCe Bentley runs right in to ice Brady. Caden Samuels ahead of the pack and missed the shot, trying to adjust from the defender. And Zabel almost gets the steal, but can't keep it in bounds. Little catch and release from the freshman here.
Well, you know, and again, that pass was perfect. All she had to do was catch and shoot, and what a smooth release.
Made a lot of waves on first night, remember, in the three-point contest. Struggled a little bit Sunday in the exhibition against Fort Hays State at the start. And once she saw the first one go through, more followed.
They typically go in a little easier after that.
There's a thrown away pass. And another turnover. UConn on an 8-0 run. 4 more BU turnovers in the last 2 minutes. That's 15 in the game for the Terriers. Not the night they were looking for here.
Well, in fairness, Graves and her team are never going to see pressure defense like this in the Patriot League. And there's no way to prepare for it.
And again, you know, their most experienced posts. Samuels from the corner. No, Zabel knocks the rebound. And Gormley's able to keep it away from Samuels. Their most experienced bigs aren't playing. They're out injured. And they've got a foul drawn by Ava Gormley. And they've got a very young lineup on the floor.
She's not going to be playing 32 minutes a game like she did last year.
Ice Brady and Caden Samuels out. Jenna Alfie, Sarah Strong in. There's AZ Fudd. Soon is the word on when we'll see Fudd back on the floor. Very soon, we hope, but soon, as described.
A lot of people say it can't be, you know, not soon enough.
The long-awaited Paige and AZ combination that we just really haven't been able to see due to injuries on both their parts. There's Caroline Ducharme on the bench as well. No timetable planned on her return as yet, but we're all hopeful for Caroline that she can get back on the court doing what she loves to do soon. Strong inside, Al Alfie left alone.
What a dangerous combination those two can be, because Al Alfie is such a big target down low, can finish, and Strong, an outstanding passer already.
Gormley shut off by Al Alfie on the defensive end. And a turnaround by Allison Schwartner, not able to go.
Pretty good team defense already here early in the season.
Caitlin Chen back in for UConn. There's Sarah Strong from outside. No. Al Alfie fights off 2 to get the rebound. And it won't go.
I mean, that was unfair. It was halfway down. You do all that work, put it back up and in, and my goodness, just won't stay in.
34-point lead for UConn. Beckers will knock that away out of bounds. It'll be BU basketball with 14 to shoot. The line on Paige so far in this one, 11 points, only one in double figures in the ball game. 4 of 5 shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers. There's Giannaros, guarded by Caitlin Chen on the floor for UConn. Cut off, the triple team collapsed on her. Gormley. Out of Schwartner, lets it go. No. And Al Alfie's able to come up with the rebound.
UConn doing a good job of giving BU one look, and that's it.
That's going to be a travel on Caitlin Chen.
Yeah, it looked like she dragged her foot.
Is that the first? No, second turnover of the night for UConn. Just the second, though. And we are just about halfway through quarter number 2 here at XL Center in Hartford. The beginning of a season filled with optimism. Huskies ranked second in the AP preseason poll by those who rank such things. We know the proof will come on the court. But a good start to the night. Chen gets a hand on the ball. Can't pull it in, though. 12 to shoot. Giannaros lets it fly. No. And the rebound right to Page, who finds Chen running.
I mean, how about that pass from Beckers? She caught it, and it hasn't taken Chen long. Just run up the floor. She'll find me.
Chen was on the floor after trying to get that steal and got up and was ahead of the pack. So the grad transfer from Princeton having a good start to her UConn career. 10 to shoot for BU. Erickson into the paint, and that won't go for Channing Warren into the ball game, and it's out of bounds off UConn.
Well, and it's best when they have that many assists to field goals.
There is the freshman Warren with the miss, and UConn will let that go out of bounds and take over the ball. So BU 4+ minutes without a made field goal. And Chen, Beckers, Strong, El Alfie, and Shade, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Shade misses that, and there'll be a foul called on the floor. Page inside to El Alfie. Double team comes, works her way through it. How about that?
Just a small sign of how good El Alfie is going to be. When she gets really good communication there, you can hear her yelling defensively.
Yeah.
When she gets more game reps, she'll be unstoppable in that low post.
And that's going to be a foul on Sarah Strong.
And moved away from it.
Agree or disagree, but I think when the officials figure out Jana's physicality and she figures out the officials, she's going to be hard to handle.
As long as she keeps her hands in the air defensively, that'll make it a lot easier.
Bentley kicks to Erickson. Nice ball movement from the Terriers. Gormley from the corner gets the 3. Ava Gormley. And that's the first made 3 of the night for BU. Nice pass from Strong out to Beckers. Missed it. And Alafi couldn't get the putback. How about this? Page leads UConn in rebounds, assists, and points.
Is that it?
Yeah. Well, probably steals, too, if I went that far to the right on the stat sheet. No look pass to Chen. Into Strong. Between defenders. And up and in. Gino has...
Yeah. She makes it look easy, right?
Gino has high praise and hopes for Sarah Strong and what she can mean to this team.
Easy to see why.
#1 overall recruit. Both parents, professional basketball players.
Seeing the floor, knowing she's going to Chen in the corner, and then really good recognition by Strong. There was no help on the other side of the key. She's difficult to guard in there, man.
Yeah, she is. She's got touch from outside. She's got physicality and a presence, and
she's got great footwork, great hands, and just such an IQ for the game.
Gino says she is a player that will impact a program, and that's nice to have in your uniform for sure. Shot clock running out. KK Arnold got in there, interrupted things for BU. Here's Caden Samuels back into the ball game along with Ice Brady. And Arnold, shot from the corner, around and out for Shade. And got in to try and get the steal, and knocked it out of bounds off of the BU player.
Shade is relentless. She moves so well without the ball on offense, and then just her hustle there created that turnover.
Improving without the ball in her hands. One of those areas that Gino would like to see her grow in this year. Strong. Well, Strong to the rim.
What a take.
That's 8 points now for the freshman. And we've got Foul called on, what was that, Caden Samuels? Yes, her second. Baldwin saw limited time in 18 games. Last year as a freshman for Providence. And misses the first of her free throws. Missed them both, and Strong is there for the rebound for the Huskies. K.K. Arnold. To Samuels in the corner. No, a travel ball.
Yeah, she shuffled her feet.
Well, Cadence, Gino talked about the other day, has been doing more than just shooting the three, and he wants to see if he can find opportunities for her to capitalize on some of those things she's been doing in practice, more than just catch and release. Here's Bentley trying to create space, but that's going to be hard space to create going into the paint against Strong. Shade.
That's a tough pass from Strong. You got to see that kid behind Shade.
And good recovery by Shade to get the ball to K.K. Arnold.
Incredible Shade didn't get called with a foul there.
Either way, a whistle somewhere, but no. Another 6-0 run for the Huskies and another steal. Sarah Strong takes it all the way.
That's a glimpse of how good this kid is. She can guard you in the lane, and she can also guard you 30 feet, 40 feet from the basket, steal it, and take it full length of the floor.
In her UConn debut in double figures before halftime. And that's a turnover, an errant pass. Here's Samuels. Missed it. Shade is there, though. White jerseys outnumbered the scarlet ones for the rebound.
That's just good hustle and not giving up on the play.
So 10 seconds to go in the half, and McLaughlin tries to take it all the way to the rim, misses, didn't have much help. Strong is ahead of the pack, and the exclamation point on a first half that sees UConn put up 60 points. With 10 available players tonight.
We haven't been able to say that in a few years.
Starting five on the floor again for UConn. Strong, Shade, Chen, Brady, and Beckers. Shot clock at 10 here for the Terriers. Good double team by the bigs, and Strong will create a steal from that. Inez Gallegos had no place to go when UConn's two forwards surrounded her.
Yeah, UConn defensively has been phenomenal this game thus far. I know they've worked at it long and hard in some practices so far this early in this season that have been very painful.
Shot clock running down, 5 to shoot. Here's Chen with the ball. Kicks to Strong for 3 as the shot clock expires.
I mean, just the presence of mind by the freshman to get herself open, and the nice pass from Chen with the shot clock winding down.
Brady comes in, gets the steal there. Second half starting with another Husky exclamation point. Ice takes it all the way to the rim, but it won't go. Here's Ava Gormley. Stops, double team. Strong gets the ball tied up. She got 2 hands on the basketball. And the alternating possession will give it to UConn. The defensive energy by the home team tonight. You know, you alluded to it a minute ago, but it hasn't let up with the trip to the locker room, has it?
Well, no, and you know, the first 5 minutes of this second half is often the indicator of how mentally into it this team is. A nice backdoor cut there from Beckers, and again, Sarah Strong showing you her vast talents there. Another terrific pass from that high post.
13.
UConn not letting, not taking anything lightly or resting on their laurels, coming out hard and attacking here.
Here's Gormley. That was Shade got a hand on the ball, and the pass is intercepted by Beckers. Strong is ahead of the field, and she will score. Timeout, Boston University.
Creates what she sees. She's not just running a set play. She's going to cut away. They're not coming. Okay, I'm going to cut back door. And that's one great thing about Gino. One of the great things is that he teaches you to play the game, read the defense, not just run plays. But you got to think and create on your own, and Paige is one of the best at it.
Certainly, Paige's court vision is 2020 for sure. There's a bad pass that Sarah Strong will intercept. How many steals that is that Strong has tonight. Six would be the answer.
Wow.
Yeah. Brady had it knocked away from her as they tried to get it inside. Allison Schwartner got her hand on it. And Shea couldn't come up with the ball there. Here's Ava Gormley. Kick to the corner. Giannaros gets the three. Alex Giannaros, the senior from Brockton. Is that her first made three of the night? I mean, that's what she does. Yeah, first made three of the night for Giannaros.
Yeah, UConn has done a really good job of making it difficult for Giannaros to get any clean looks.
And that's a player that shoots 40% from three. Brady takes the pass from Strong, couldn't come up with it. He was looking up at the rim first. Giannaros kicks it back outside to Gormley. If you're Melissa Graves, the BU head coach, you're looking for your team to show you something here, to execute some things.
Yeah, you just got to keep fighting.
Gormley steps away through the screen and hits the bucket. Nice screen there from Schwartner, and Gormley gets the basket to go.
And it's the little things that you notice. The bench is still engaged, standing up and clapping every time they score. Those are the things that you have to do as a team.
Here's Caitlin Chen driving, puts the brakes on. Shot clock at 10 for UConn. Oh, look at that from Beckers, and Strong wide open. No. Good defensive retreat there by Shade and Chen. From the outside, Giannaros gets another three to go. So Alex Giannaros, and just quickly out of that timeout, the Terriers have outscored UConn 8-7 in this quarter. Remember, UConn was 7-0 in this quarter before the timeout. Beckers' pass was a little far from her. I think she thought she was fouled.
Well, it was a poor pass from Brady.
So a couple minutes without any points for UConn. As Jenna El-Alfi waits to check in. Strong went for the steal, didn't get it. Shot missed, and two Huskies fight for the ball. Shade will get credit for the rebound. So an 8-0 run for the Terriers here as we come down to midway through quarter number 3. KK Arnold comes to the scorer's table waiting to check in, and here's Ice Brady. Caitlin Chen from the corner over the top of everything, right to the hands of Giannaros. Empty possession here as the UConn offense has suddenly stalled a little bit in these last 2.5 minutes. Inside, Schwartner working on Brady. Nice defense there from Brady. Size without fouling. Gormley has it knocked away by Brady. Beckers. Missed. No foul call, and Schwartner comes up with the rebound.
She is not happy.
Giannaros with the pull-up, no. And Paige backed off because Ice Brady was charging toward the ball, and it's going to end up being a foul on Brady after the timeout.
And they, they really haven't changed much. They've evolved with the times, but everything they do is pretty much the same. And you could hear that foul there, Jenna El-Alfi. I heard that smack over here.
That'll be the first on El-Alfi, who has checked into the game along with KK Arnold. Interesting that, Gino talked about, well, first of all, he does not like to talk about this 40th anniversary stuff or the wins record particularly.
Doesn't want anything to do with it.
But so pleased with the effort of his team in the first half tonight, and now all of a sudden, midway through the third quarter, it's just stalled out here.
Well, you figured it would, and BU is well coached. They're not, they're not going to go away or stop playing.
Caden Samuels into the game, sorry.
Gino's going to work with some different lineups, too.
That was kind of a tough pass to throw in, but they'll pick up the foul there. That is Bella McLaughlin, who will be called, 12 for BU. And so UConn will inbound the ball with a 20-second shot clock. Gino talked about what would the Huskies offense look like with Paige not on the floor, but this last little run for BU has been with Paige on the floor, and that doesn't go. Paige leading the defensive communication on the way back up the floor. As Giannaros, long range, back iron. KK Arnold with the rebound for UConn. So see if the Huskies can get off the schneid here as BU on a 9-0 run. That one doesn't go, and a foul. It's going to be called on UConn. Will that be El Alfie? And that will be her second. So El Alfie, Caden Samuels, KK Arnold, Sarah Strong, and Paige Beckers, the 5 on the floor this time for UConn.
And now Alfie just picked up her second foul, and she, kind of looked incredulously at the ref, like, seriously? But now here's just a simple play. If that layup goes in from Samuels, there's no opportunity for the foul. You appreciate that she hustled and tried to get the offensive rebound. It's kind of hard to stop at that time when you're going full effort to crash the boards.
When you're 6'5" and the player you end up crashing into is 5'8", by the way. Here's McLaughlin, kicks from the outside, shot doesn't go.
Good position there by Strong.
That was Monte Agudo for BU into the game, first time player from Spain. Sophomore from Valencia. Here's Caden Samuels off the Becker's feed and screen. Got it. That stops the 9-0 run for BU as Caden Samuels puts another one in from outside. 2 for 3 from long range tonight for Caden. She's up to 8 points. And Aaron pass there from Schwartner. Intended for McLaughlin, and a BU turnover. And that will be turnover number 26 on the night for the Terriers. More subs coming into the ball game for UConn. Well, no, not yet. Didn't make it in time for the whistle. But Allie Zabel waiting to check back into the ball game for UConn as the freshmen make their debut tonight here at XL Center. Here's El Alfie. Inbound to Strong. Defense collapses. Used all the rim and didn't fall. Home rim's supposed to be friendlier than that. Giannaros looking for help. Speedily guarded by KK Arnold. Good ball movement there from the Terriers to Giannaros from the corner. Shot short, and El Alfie with the rebound for UConn. Is her 7th, make it 8th rebound on the night for Jana.
The problem is, and maybe why it doesn't look as pretty for UConn now, is they've slowed the game down a lot. They don't need to run when you're up like this.
Yeah.
But they play better in that up-tempo style.
It was clearly their advantage in the early going.
Well, and you think, can they sustain it? But you know what? They've got so many subs. I think Gino's going to really have some fun playing different lineups together and keeping the players fresh so they can play that fast.
And it's also, when you're running and gunning, but you also have to work on and be good at the half court. And so working on as Jana El Alfie.
She's got such great emotion. You saw the reaction. She went hard, right? Goes up with the left, gets fouled. And you couldn't quite see it from behind, but man, she had just something funny to say. She's such a great kid.
Yeah.
Such an amazing personality.
So there's going to be a foul on UConn. That's either going to be Samuels or Chelly. It will be Caden Samuels, her 3rd. So Samuels, Morgan Chelly, Allie Zabel, KK Arnold, and Jana El Alfie on the floor for UConn. Two sophomores and 3 freshmen, basically. And a chance to show what they can do with Paige on the bench. Erickson feeds inside. Nice ball movement by BU. Now Erickson over and out. Stretch Samuels doesn't go. 72-22 for UConn, a 50-point lead here. And BU now on a 3-minute scoring drought. Here is Morgan Shelley. Now Samuels takes the screen from El Alfi, drives between defenders, doesn't go. Optimistic try at the rim there for the sophomore. You're smiling. You like that choice of words?
Nice word.
Another optimistic try at the rim there for McLaughlin, and doesn't go for BU. KK Arnold trying to use her speed to will herself to the rim, and she'll draw contact and a foul. Let's talk about KK, what to expect out of the sophomore now from Wisconsin in her second season.
Well, you know, she came in a little bit later in the game than we're used to, but she had twisted her ankle a couple weeks ago, didn't play in the exhibition game on Sunday, so they're just easing her back in. But it'll be really interesting to see the lineups, particularly in the backcourt between Ashlyn Shade, KK Arnold, Paige Beckers, when Azzi Fudd comes back. You know, and then you have the freshmen, Zabel and Shelley. What are they going to do? They have lots of different combinations, certainly more than they've had the last couple of years.
Lane violation there, and still you see some players down the end of the bench. The sweatsuit brigade as well exists at the start of this season for UConn, and that will be how the third quarter ends. Certainly some reason to be optimistic for BU in that third quarter. UConn only scoring 12 and BU getting 9.
They practice, so just a really cool full circle moment for Jason Pelham in this one, Alan.
Yeah, and his smile so bright when we talked to him. I asked, did you do the scout for this game? He said, yeah. He said that was so cool. Marissa Mosley was the connection that got him to BU, by the way. Although she departed for Wisconsin, she was the one that put him in touch with Melissa Graves. 5 to shoot here for his Terriers. Gormley couldn't get it to go, and Ice Brady back into the game with a rebound. It's Brady, Arnold, Shelley, Shade, and Zabel, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Zabel inbound to Brady, has it stripped away, but is fouled. And that foul will be on Ava Gormley, her first.
And as this group was getting ready to start executing this offense, I saw Gino over on the sidelines clapping his hands like, come on, keep attacking. He doesn't want them, you know, to get too comfortable and slow things down too much. Keep attacking.
So here's Ice Brady now in her second year of play for UConn, third year on campus, but of course injured and missed her true freshman season. Played a backup role to Aaliyah Edwards until the Big East tournament a year ago when she was forced into a starring role. What can the Huskies expect from Ice this season?
Oh gosh, she looks really good. She's worked out all summer. I just think she's going to look to produce more offensively. I think you're going to see a far more consistent, stronger post presence. You know, I just love her energy, great communication. She's involved in all aspects of the game so far. You could tell she feels better about herself and her game.
Listening to her talk, you just hear a maturity in her that's it's different than it was a season ago, and hopefully the confidence follows that maturity.
Absolutely. You know, what do they say? The greatest thing about freshmen is they become sophomores.
Yeah. KK Arnold got herself in trouble and threw the ball away. So UConn turnover with 8.5 to go in the ball game. We were talking about KK earlier. Gino told us today at shoot around. I said, what do you want to see out of KK this year? He said, I want her to be better running the team. When she's on the floor and she's our primary ball handler, I want her to be better at that, and I want her shooting more confidently.
Well, and that will come with time. I mean, don't forget, last year as a freshman, she had to play a lot of minutes.
Right. Sometimes 40 minutes a game as a true freshman. 5 to shoot for the Terriers here. UConn's defense showing a little energy. Gormley steps away, but throws up a prayer as Ashlyn Shade was right there. And a turnover on a time violation. And SNY. USF in the NCAA tournament 8 of the last 12 years. First rival of UConn's in the American Conference during their 7 years there. And that was tough pass into traffic and knocked out of bounds.
Well, you know, not a horrible pass. Good idea, but, you know, by Ashlyn Shea. But Ice Brady's got to do a better job of keeping that defender on her high side, on her back, until the ball comes in. You secure the ball and then go shoot.
Giannaros with the nice release. Alex Giannaros gets another one to go.
You could tell she's a pure shooter. The way she ran off that screen, wasted no motion.
First of the Terriers into double figures, and Alizabel couldn't get the put up to go. From the corner, the three doesn't happen. Nice rebounding position by Allison Schwertner, the freshman. And that's going to be a foul on Ice Brady. To Page on the floor. So far, 20 of UConn's 74 points have come without Page on the floor. There's Giannaros, another one, no. And Schwertner gets to the rebound just ahead of Chelly. Giannaros had it knocked away, but will draw the foul in the lane. And that will be, I believe, on Chelly.
Morgan Chelly.
Yep, her second.
Second personal. Team foul number 2.
Looking at some of the numbers on the night. As that'll be a miscommunicated pass inbounds and a turnover to UConn. So what's that going to be? The 20...
That was,
where am I here? 28th turnover?
Fatigue. That was the fatigue and frustration play there by BU.
Just looking the most turnovers UConn has forced against an opponent. And still 11 away from that. Although 6.5 to go still in this fourth quarter. And that's a travel on UConn as Morgan Chelly took a step.
Yeah, shuffled her feet before the ball hit the ground.
Will be UConn's 10th turnover in the ball game. And we come up on 6 minutes to go on opening night here in Hartford. UConn with a comfortable lead over BU, but looking to see something out of the young players here in this fourth quarter. KK Arnold. Wow, I thought she had good defensive position, but Alex Giannaros got the ball up and in over the top.
Yeah, the 5'5" senior Giannaros, just the upper body strength to get that ball in.
And there goes the three for Alizabel. That's what we're expecting out of her. Alizabel 2 of 2 from long range tonight, and that is going to be an offensive foul as KK Arnold drew the contact. Giannaros gets called for the foul.
You know, I thought maybe there was a little contact initiated by Giannaros, but I thought that was sold really well by Arnold.
Well, it was purchased. And so the deal was closed. And Ice Brady goes to the bench, and Jenna El-Alfe's back into the ball game for UConn. Zabel again from outside. No, that was short. And Arnold can't get there in time for the rebound. Schwertner closes off. Plumlee feeds Giannaros. Cross-court pass. No. Ball goes right to Giannaros for the rebound. And that was blocked, I believe. And another block. And
it's not always pretty.
A wild scramble for the ball, yeah. They'll call Zabel for stepping on the sideline. She stuck the foot back to change directions and caught the blue paint.
That happens more times than it should. Give the freshman a break, though.
Well, and think about what this night means to all these young players to get out here in front of a big crowd at XL Center and experience the energy of what it was like. And there was good energy in the building at the start of the ball game.
Oh, yeah, for 3 quarters, you know? Absolutely. Fourth quarter, things have slowed down a little bit.
Great experience. Now you got to come back and do it at Gamble on Sunday against USF. And Jose Fernandez's team. They'll have ready to play.
They had some great contests when UConn was in the American Athletic Conference.
How about El-Alfie there, using the size to rip the ball. Ready to play.
They had some great contests when UConn was in the American Athletic Conference.
How about Al-Alfi there, using the size to rip the ball away and put it up and in.
Well, I could tell when she ripped down her offensive rebound off her miss, she was frustrated that she missed that first shot.
You want to find a player with a competitive streak in her? Look at number 8 in UConn home white tonight. Jenna Al-Alfi, the freshman from Cairo. 4:15 to go in this one, and a timeout on the floor. The attitude of Paige Bueckers, the great is never good enough, and work harder to get better all the time. It's inspiring.
It really is, and when you're, not only does she work so hard, but she's such a great leader and so unselfish, and just wants her teammates to be great. She makes everybody great.
Cece Bentley back into the ball game for BU and gets the bucket there on the inbounds play. And especially with such a young squad for UConn. There's Al-Alfi, nice. I mean,
and you watch, she's the first person on the bench cheering for her teammates. You know, she wants everyone to be great and is a player that makes others better.
There's a lot of example to impart on these freshmen and sophomores playing for this UConn squad this year, that they're going to need to be so good if they want to get where they want to go. And nice play there by Zabel after the Jenna Al-Alfi defensive effort. They're going to call Jenna Al-Alfi for an illegal screen, I believe.
And she's going to have to be careful. I mean, she had 4 fouls in that exhibition game, and Gino Auriemma is not going to want her sitting on the bench next to him.
Think about looking well down the road in this season, but a game against a big team like, let's say, a South Carolina or a Notre Dame, not so far down the road, or a USC, not so far down the road. And what a valuable player Jenna Al-Alfi can be for these Huskies, with her size and her presence and her defense. So getting into foul trouble, not something they can afford for her to do, as she gets another bucket there, saves the pass, and puts it up and in.
And these minutes are critical because she needs game experience and game shape.
Well, she's got a double-double tonight, 16 points and 10 rebounds in her UConn debut for first player in a Husky uniform from Egypt.
And she's a great communicator. She's an unbelievable teammate.
Clock down to 6, and the shot up and in by Hildur Gunnsteinsdóttir from Iceland, part of this largely international squad playing for BU. They got players from 6 different countries on their roster this year. International studies just not something to be looked at as a major there. It's something to be practiced on the basketball court. Al-Alfi drives and gets fouled. Our Take It to the Rim moment brought to you by Duncan. How about Jenna Al-Alfi taking it strong?
And, you know, she did a nice job of sealing the defender on her high side. The nice pass in, away from the defense. Nice strong take. These are moments that are going to give her the confidence that she needs to continue to grow.
16 minutes on the floor, 16 points, 10 rebounds. And after quickly getting into foul trouble in the exhibition game on Sunday, a little more of an example tonight. Gino laughing with a referee?
He's old. He's mellowed out a bit.
Morris there with the head coach. So that is up to 17 for Al-Alfi. 8 of 12 from the floor, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Foul going to be called there. SNY, you're home for UConn women's basketball pregame, postgame coverage. Had our season preview before the game tonight. Looking forward to a great season. Shelley to Al-Alfi for 3. Oh, that was halfway down and came back out. Shelley, nice step move to create space. Wouldn't go. Al-Alfi with the rebound, surrounded by 5 red jerseys, and it won't fall. And she's smiling and shaking her head on the way back down the court.
That's a glimpse of how good she can be.
Bella McLaughlin into the paint, and I believe that was Zabel who might have been the initial alteration on that effort. And a minute to go, and a whistle for subs. So Caden Samuels will come into the ballgame, and Ashlyn Shade will go to the bench. 10 points for Ash. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover for the sophomore tonight. And a good start to her second year in a UConn uniform. Down to the final minute of this one. Talk about USF coming to town on Sunday, and another challenge for the Huskies to get ready for, with a couple days of practice in between. There's KK Arnold, as every available UConn player tonight has scored in this ball game. And of the 86 points that UConn has scored, 34 of them have come without Paige on the floor.
That's an important statistic, because they need to know how to play without her.
Yep. Ali Zabel got a hand on the ball, didn't know it. And that is off of BU. Is it off? No, it's off UConn. BU basketball, 10 to shoot, 24.6 to go in the ball game. So Alalfe and Strong, 2 posts playing for the first time tonight in a UConn uniform, will lead the Huskies with 17 apiece. Paige Beckers will have 13. Ashlyn Shade 10. McLaughlin throws it up as the shot clock expires, and Caden Samuels will pull down the rebound and hand it to KK Arnold, who says slow it down. High-tempo offense, stifling defense in the first half set this one on its course for UConn. And on opening nights, UConn will go to 43-8 all-time, 36-4 under Gino and CD, and come away from XL Center with an 86-32 victory over Boston University.